this is an emergency.
I'm really hoping this is a once-in-a-lifetime storm.
It didn't even look like Lakeshore Drive.
Sitting there that whole time, that's when I kind of lost it.
No, you have to come with me.
You couldn't even see your hand in front of your face.
We have to evacuate the area.
There are abandoned cars, snowdrifts building up around some of them. We've just seen some lightning.
Our drivers couldn't see.
So we had about 10 million people in Illinois that were really suffered from this event.
I will always remember this blizzard.
Hi, my name is Paolo Capalvo. I'm a Chicago firefighter assigned to Tower Ladder Company 10.
My name is Lieutenant Singleton. I'm on Engine 4. Engine 4, Tower 10, we are in the same house.
We were called in initially for an accident investigation on North Lakeshore Drive. I was driving, and you could barely see with the snow drifts and everything.
I'm Carrie Bauer, and I am a child life specialist. I work in Oak Lawn at the Hope Children's Hospital, and I live in Lakeview. My normal commute is about 50 minutes to an hour, and that day, from door to door, it took me 13 hours.
So we got as far as Fullerton and the underpass of Lakeshore Drive. That's where we stopped. We all looked at each other. All right, man, let's get out and kind of walk to Lakeshore Drive and see what we can find.
My name is John Shanahan, and I'm a lieutenant on Tower Ladder 10. We went up to look for the accident. We realized the whole drive was backed up, and at that time we radioed that we needed more equipment further down the drive to get to the traffic accident because we were not going to make it down our ramp.
We looked, we said, oh man, we got a problem here.
I was stuck on Lakeshore Drive around the North and LaSalle exit. I had the use of Facebook to actually find out what was going on. Why am I stopped here for so long? And luckily people were responding back to me and telling me that there was an accident, get off right now.
Hi, I'm firefighter EMT Ramon Clark. We've seen so many cars underneath the snow drifts and things like that.
Our thought was to start clearing the cars off of the ramp because the Fullerton exit ramp was backed up with cars. Once we got those cars off, we figured all the other cars would start coming down. And as fast as we could shovel cars out, the snow would just fill right back up again.
Our communications told us to evacuate citizens out of their car and just use our fire vehicles to assist them in removal.
So everybody had a different sector. You had sector 1, 2, 3, 4. You were told to check from this block to this block, another company from that block to that. Then they reversed it. We swept those cars to make sure that everybody was off Lakeshore Drive. We didn't want nobody to get harmed.
Hi, we're going to evacuate you.
I was just concerned of the magnitude of the situation and the weather getting worse. Probably a couple hours had passed and you couldn't even see your hand in front of your face.
Bob Stepanek, firefighter, truck 51. I never thought in a million years I would be on a snowmobile working for the Chicago Fire Department. No way. We're told there's stranded cars, but they don't know if there's people in them or not. So we went to 47th and Lakeshore Drive.
Everybody was asking what's going on and how are they going to be able to get off Lakeshore Drive.
Your well-being check?
What's going on?
You saw people in business suits, laptops in their car. I encountered one lady and she said that she had left work at 3:30.
Chief Springer had told me to get on the snowmobile and take this ramp going up to the north. The snow was so thick, didn't even look like a ramp. I seen a car probably about 3 blocks away and had a hard time getting there because it was 4 or 5 feet drifts. And I opened up the door and there's 2 elderly people just sitting there and big smile on their face.
The scariest moments were because you couldn't really see. At times you kind of get lost in the actual blizzard.
We trained very hard, but man, I don't know if we was trained for that day.
We had a hood on which covered everything but our eyes. The hood is actually a soft cloth, but later on that evening, about midnight, I ended up taking it off and it stood up like a helmet. It was so encased in ice.
As more companies came on Lakeshore Drive, you saw guys with helmets on, their breathing mask, and they said, oh, that's a good idea.
I had 2 breakdowns. Once when I first sat there and I was really freaking out, like, why aren't we moving? And then the second one was a little bit later, like maybe after like 2 in the morning. And I was kind of just like, I just want to get home.
No, you have to come with me.
Some wanted to stay, some wanted to go. After a while, we let them stay, and them say, oh, you got to go. We had to order them out because it was just bad conditions out there. No way they could stay out there with the weather and everything.
I'm sitting here. How long am I going to sit here for?
I've been staying here for about 7 hours.
Insane. Can't believe I'm still sitting here.
All things considered, they were very calm. We walked up to one car, we knocked on the window, and we told the guy, you know, we're going to be abandoning your car, we're loading you up over here. He said, no, I'm good. I'll ride out the storm here.
Can you bundle up, get your key, your personal belongings? You're going to come with me downstairs on the fire truck. You have to. I'm sorry, sir.
Well, I believe I've run out of gas since I've been sitting there since 4:30.
I recall encountering this one woman, and she wasn't even worried about getting rescued or getting her car off the drive. She asked me if I was okay.
Come on, guys!
Ultimately, the firemen did rescue me. This was 4 in the morning. I heard firemen, I see them, and I go, are you getting people? And he said, yes, it's just you. I'm like, yes. He's like, I'm like, do you have room? He's like, got room for one more. Come on. I'm like, okay. And he helped me try to put my windshield wipers up on my car.
When you do find a car like that, what we're doing, we're turning the windshield wipers up, indicating that this car was checked already.
We all banded together, held hands, and we had to go down this embankment, which was knee-deep in snow and slippery, so it was unbelievable how everybody came together and stuck together and held hands. And we finally reached the tower ladder, and I got them in. And I said, it's going to be uncomfortable, you're going to be kind of like a sardine can, and they didn't seem to care. It was pretty special.
Another family of 2 children and a mom actually got on with us, and I just felt horrible for this mom who had her 2 children, you know, 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, in that weather, in that condition, and the same amount of time she'd been in the car since 3:30 as well.
It's the first time I've been on the job where we actually used our vehicles or fire trucks to take citizens or victims from any scene.
I sat literally on a helmet, just squeezed in, kind of just like, I was like, I'm fine, don't worry about me. And they're like, okay, you sure? I'm like, don't worry, I'm okay. The family with the 2 boys, actually, she lived nearby me as well, so the firemen, of course, offered to take us to our homes. They wanted to make sure we were home safely.
This was the worst situations I was involved in, because of the long time that we were out there, maybe around 10 hours.
All night long, just going to Washington Park, Lakeshore Drive, taking people out.
He was just exhausted, you could tell, just exhausted, all of them were.
The highest tradition of the fire department is, hey, get these people out, make sure they're safe, make sure nobody gets left.
You saved many lives that were out there.
I'm just happy I was able to do what I did, help the citizens of Chicago.